Hey everybody, Shu here, back again with another review. This time it's going to be for the Mechanic engine light check. I've seen this at the store, and this is another one of those as seen on TV devices where you're supposed to be able to plug it into your car and wirelessly tells you what's wrong with it. Now, mind you, it will only display what is wrong if your check engine light comes on. Now, of course, the box always makes it look a lot more special or a lot more high-tech than what these things usually are. And of course, as you can tell, it says prevents thousands in costly repairs. Now, don't let that fool you, because they do put a disclaimer, which I'll show you that in just a second. Now, something to point out is if you flip it over, it'll say problem detect, gas cap loose. It might tell you stuff like that. Excuse me. Feature benefits tells why your engine light is on. Some vehicles have engine lights, some of them say check engine. Advises how severe car problem is, if it's an emergency or not. I've never seen any type of diagnostic equipment tell you if it's an emergency or not, so this is going to be interesting. Helps you prevent repair shop rip-offs, which that can be very helpful. Lets you turn off your engine light. That will, a lot of shops do not turn off your check engine light. Like if you go to, say, like AutoZone, they will diagnose it, they will check it for you, they'll tell you what could potentially or possibly be wrong, but they will not clear what they call clearing your codes. They will not do that. And the last one down there is oil change maintenance reminders. I'm not sure if this is supposed to tell you that, which normally you have a different indicator on newer cars, but right here it says includes Mechanic, which I guess is going to be this, instruction guide, and Mechanic app, which is kind of interesting because if you read the very bottom of it, it says smartphone not included in package, wireless device, and download of application required for use. So I'm not exactly sure what app is included with this yet. So let's open her up and see what comes with it. Alrighty, just like most of these as seen on TV products, they give you a large package with just a tiny item inside of it. But you do get the product guide, which is going to give you the specifications on it and basic directions on how to use it for your OBD2 port in your vehicle, which you do need to know where your port is located, which whenever we go play with this, I'll show you where it's located in the, like, say in the Jeeps and Nissans. You can even download the Mechanic app. Just scan this and go to the Apple Store or the Google Play, depending if you are using an Apple product or an Android. Of course, it comes with the Mechanic, which I'm going to pop this cover off. And that's all it is. The OBD2 plug-in adapter. Little tiny thing, as you can tell. And the box. So we'll just move all this out of the way. So this is all it is. For any of the old schools, you get a paper clip, bend it in half, plug it in. You just check your check engine light, watch how many times it flashes. But this is the next generation. So let's give this thing a try and let's see what happens. Alrighty, it's fairly simple to operate this. You find your OBD2 plug-in, which is this little white adapter right here. You get your micro mechanic. You simply just plug it right into it. Make sure it's squarely plugged into it. You're going to need to turn your ignition to the on position to where all of your lights and gauges come on. Then you're going to simply bring up your app, which is going to be right here. Hit start scan. It's going to need to pair up. And once it does that, no problems found, safe to drive. You can also look at your scheduled mileage. It actually tells you what needs to be done at different service intervals. 100,000 miles, which is pretty cool. Little thing. Basically, you can use as kind of a reminder. But something I did notice is, let me swing back this thing up. They don't tell you when you buy it, but enter your Pro app upgrade code below to unlock real-time gauges and performance timber. To buy a code, so you have to purchase more to be able to use this, to basically be able to see it in live time, which you can buy normal devices if you actually need to see it in live. But all we're mostly worried about is the check engine light, which I don't have any issues with my truck. So that's why it's coming up as nothing found. Alrighty. We're going to try this out in the Jeep, which it's kind of hard to see it. It's a little dark, but on the Jeep, it's right on the driver's side by the door. And it says check engine light down here. Let's turn on the app. Start a scan. Mass or volume airflow circuit range. Press for more info. Okay, error code is giving us P0101, mass or volume airflow circuit range performance problem. It is safe to drive, which we already know it is safe to drive, but it's not telling exactly what the problem is. Estimate repair costs anything from $70 to $350. Wow. Now we're going to go back. Now this one says you can reset the engine light. So let's go ahead and reset the engine light. And engine light is still showing that it's on. So let's start the scan again. No problems found. And it definitely made the check engine light go away on the Jeep. Just expect expensive problems. So, it seems to work on the Jeep. Matter of fact, just had the change oil light just came on. But it's not showing anything on that. After getting the code, the P0101, I punched it into the autocodes.com lookup section, and it came up to a Jeep mass airflow sensor performance code. Now the probable causes is a faulty mass airflow sensor, intake air leaks, dirty mass airflow sensor, dirty mass air filter, mass airflow sensor harness, open or shorted, mass airflow sensor circuit, poor electrical connection, which I've checked the connections, they're good. There shouldn't be any issue as far as an open or short on the harness. And we have changed the air filter, which normally when you get a mass airflow sensor performance code pops up, normally you want to change your air filter. In this case, this happened not too long after we changed the air filter. So changing the air filter could have broke some dirt loose that and got caught up in the mass airflow sensor. So we're going to go ahead and look at replacing the mass airflow sensor. For Jeeps, they're only about $65-70 for a new one. The thing I like about autocodes.com is if you look right up here in this top corner, right over in this area here, it does have the repair importance level and repair difficulty level, which on the Jeeps, they're not very difficult at all to change out. It's simply a plug and play for the Jeeps. You just have to make sure that you have your ignition turned off. But as far as the repair importance level, this is rated as number 3. 1 is low, 3 is high. If you hit the little question mark right over here, it has what the breakdowns are. High, problem requires immediate attention, may affect engine performance and or reduce gas mileage and could damage other components. So this is something that we're definitely going to want to get changed out. On older models of your mass airflow sensors, you used to be able to just tap them with a screwdriver. If there's any type of dust in there, it usually comes loose, comes out. But in this case, we're just going to go ahead and pop this one out, buy a new one, throw it in there, and just be done with it. So as far as this goes, this is definitely pretty nice so far. I don't like the point that you have to purchase basically like an upgrade so you can see live gauges, but because most vehicles now have at least your tachometer, your oil, or your temperature, your important ones, but some of them like oil pressure, they don't tell you what your oil pressure is. So if you want to know that much, you can always look at upgrading it. I'm not exactly sure how much it is. Live view is definitely great for if you're doing diagnostics on your vehicle, or if you just want to see what your engine's doing, see what your electronic systems are doing. So, okay, so in conclusion, the Micro Mechanic engine light checker is definitely worth buying, especially at around 20 bucks, primarily because of simplicity. It's very, very, very simple to use. Even if you have no experience at all, this is very, very simple to use. It connects to your phone through Bluetooth. It's very, very, very easy. That being said, for all the Jeep fanatics out there, when it pulled up the P0101 code that comes up as a mass airflow sensor, I got a hold of Chrysler, because now that is a Chrysler code, but I got a hold of Chrysler, and Chrysler even said that they verified that Jeeps do not have a mass airflow sensor, but their codes do come up, and it turned out to be this little guy, which is the MAP sensor, manifold absolute pressure sensor. And since changing this little piece out, which goes on top of the intake manifold, we have not had a check engine light come on, and without this little Micro Mechanic, it'd be almost impossible to locate that problem. But that being said, you can always take your vehicle to an AutoZone and they will check it totally for free. Most of them will not clear your codes, but almost every single one of them will check your engine for free. They'll give you a free computer diagnostics check. Doesn't cost you a penny. So if you don't have one of these, you can always go to AutoZone. So you can save 20 bucks, but you have to take your vehicle. You're going to have to use fuel, your own time. You're going to take your vehicle somewhere. With this, you spend 20 bucks one time, and there you go. You can check your own car, you can check your neighbor's car, you can help anybody out. Be the life of the party. So, if this video was helpful at any point, or if you liked it or anything like that, just go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It really means out a lot to us. It just lets us know that people are watching the videos and they actually like what we do. And don't forget to share the videos. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and sign up and hit the little bell notification. Pretty soon we're going to be starting our outdoor adventures. So I hope everybody's ready. I got the drone, I got the 360 camera, I got my new live setup. So just be ready. So until next time.